welcome. And I'm going to bring up Brad and Michael. And welcome to the show, guys. I have a meeting in a little bit, unfortunately, and I see David. Let me put him up. And there he is. And just to let you guys know, big picture, I created a cool document. And what it is basically it's got Google LLM. It's got the 15 top out of the box thinking. And then I created a PowerPoint to put it with that. So that is literally my robot here is posting it as we speak. So it'll be there. I'm going to ask you guys not to look at it just yet, but enjoy the show. And with that said, I see everybody's here. So big picture, we're going to go over Notebook LLM. And I'm going to drop because I already see everybody's here. So go ahead, Brad. I'll let you continue.
Thanks, Harvey. Great to see you. Let's see. Normally, Mr. Brooks Wood is the MC of the hour with all of the fancy buttons for the titles and the theme song. I don't want to push too many buttons because I can see this turning sideways quick. So I'm just going to say welcome, everybody, to the AI Catch-Up. I'm Brad Rochefort. Great to see you. Glad to have everybody here watching the stream. Today's topic is Notebook LM. Is there an audio loop? Are we hearing a loop?
I don't hear. No, I think I don't hear any feedback on my end.
No, Michael, do you hear that? No.
It sounds like there's an airplane in the distance, but I don't know. I don't know what that is. So,
okay.
Right. It seems to be coming maybe on your end, Brad. I think. But so we can kick it off though, and I think Notebook LM is something I've been digging into quite a bit lately. I feel like it's just one of those tools that when it came out, right? I think it's Google environment. It's amazing, and it wasn't really until I needed to use it, and the way I needed to use it, I almost look at it as a file cabinet because I can put up to 300 documents in there, or chats, and then pull from it, and do all sorts of crazy things that you'll see today.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm new to driving the stream here. Can you guys see that shared window yet?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet. Okay. Present. Oh my goodness. Nothing like learning a new software on the fly on a live stream. Thankfully.
That's okay. This is what we're teaching all the viewers out there that want to get caught up. We know you're going to be an expert by the time the show's over. So
here we go. There we go. I've got it. Look at that added to the stage, this window. So if anybody's been watching, we made our AI catch-up email for the team to use so that we can all sign into the same things. So Google has a product, and it's free. It's called Notebook LM. So it's a language model. There's some kind of hot audio here. I've got to solve this because I think it's going to be an issue. I wonder if that fixes it. I'm going to try to mute you guys just for 1 sec and then unmute yourself if the time comes. So Notebook LM is a language model from Google. You can get it by typing in Notebook LM, and we'll go there. So this is our AI catch-up email. It's brand new. And they're offering the concept of understanding anything that is a partner for research and a partner for thinking. And the important part here is it's grounded in the information you trust, right? And it uses Gemini. So you give it the information it's going to use. And it gives you instant insights. You can update your sources. You can see the source, not just the answer. So that means if you're asking a question and you're like, where'd this come from? It says it came from page 10 of your document. You say, okay, that's where that came from. And then, as many people have heard, but many people have not, you can create a podcast based on your information. I think we should dive in. I'm going to unmute you guys now and hope that whatever was causing that buzz is done. So people use Notebook LM to study, to organize their thinking, to spark new ideas. CNBC says it could be the next killer app in Gen AI. So you click this black button that says try Notebook LM, right? As this AI Catchup email. We've never used this before, so we're going to say okay, right? They value my privacy. So this is what it looks like when you start, right? I don't think I'm zoomed in too far. I think that's what it looks like. And at the bottom, there's this black button. It says Create New Notebook. So if I zoom in at the bottom, it says Create New Notebook, right? And here's what the main window looks like when you start. So there's this Upload Sources button where I can give it my documents. I can drag them in from my desktop or choose a file. And you can use a PDF, a text file, Markdown, which is the bolds and the hypertext and the H1 header tags. Or you can put in MP3s. David or Michael, have you put in any audio files in the notebook yet?
I've put in YouTube links, and that worked, but have not done any straight audio files.
I don't think I've done many YouTubes.
What's that?
I don't think I've done many YouTube links.
Oh, I have. I mean, it's been great because what I'll do is when I find someone that's maybe done a podcast or something, then instead of having to grab the transcripts, which most of them do have the transcripts, I just put in the YouTube link and it grabs everything.
There we are. I'm learning how to use this software. There's a setting for the catch-up. So
right there. So we're making progress.
Yeah. Can you guys still see the screen, or did that change?
That changed. We have now the three of us. Now you're back.
Okay. See, I'm learning. This is good. So Notebook LM lets you upload from Google Drive. So you can upload documents and slides. You can give it links to websites and YouTube, or you can just paste in text. And the key thing is there's 50 shelf spaces, right? So the limit of sources is 50, which is a lot. It's a lot of information. What's really cool is this new button at the top called Discover Sources. So let's check that out. So you can tell it what you're interested in. You can describe something you'd like to learn about, and it will give you 10 topics. So let's think of a good topic that's timely for June 2025. Michael or David, what do you think?
The one blog is
Oh, Michael,
your audio, something's going on with it. We can't really hear you. But what I will say, Brad, is how about plans for the summer?
Okay. So plans for the summer 2025.
And maybe like warm climates or beach. Maybe the beach.
Beach in USA. For a family. Okay, so I just hit the submit button, right? And this is one way to access this tool, which is going to put in a bunch of information. So here's the interesting thing, right? So it says discover sources. It says for your ideal, so this Notebook LM has created this text. It says for your ideal beach holiday for summer 2025 with sources covering destinations, hidden gems, tips for budget, activities. And it gives you 10. So the standard amount of sources is 10, right? And if I like them all, I keep them all. If I don't like any of them, I check this box at the top. You see blue check marks, no check marks, blue, none, right? And if I don't like Good Housekeeping for whatever reason, I don't like Reddit, and I don't like this one, I could just say I just want those 7. Now I picked those at random. I could love Reddit, Good Housekeeping, and the other one, right? Just so you can see that you get to choose if it says a source that you don't like. If I don't need a wheelchair access beach, I say I don't need that. But then again, maybe I do. So let's just take them all, and we'll say import. Now my notebook has 10 sources, and I could change the title of it to, at the top, I could say Beach 2025, Beaches for Family Holidays 2025, okay? So you get the idea. I could have added my own sources. I could have added documents, files, etc. And then here's what's cool. After that date, now it tells me that this is Insight on Beach Vacations, okay? And here's where it gets really cool. I can add notes. I can make an audio overview where it'll talk to me. I can make a mind map, or I can start typing and say, I need parking that is close. What to do? Right? It's not going to search the internet. It's not going to search a made-up database. It's going to search those 10 articles. All right? It's going to search public beach access, vacation rentals, accessible parking. It's going to give me tips on that, right? So if I gave it a more complex topic, I could have said, give me a study guide or a frequently asked questions. And it makes it within seconds, all right? It makes it almost instantaneously. It's generating a note based on these 10 sources. I think we're going really gradually into this, but we're going to get it into something bigger. So now it's here, frequently asked questions, and I click it, all right? And what do I get? I get accessible beaches, unique activities, safety considerations, right? I get some frequently asked questions. And if I want to keep this piece of information, I click convert to source. And what that does is this converts that summary document. Now it becomes part of my sources over here. All right. This is where it gets really cool. If I click that properly, here it goes. Oh, I clicked it twice. So you know what I can do? I don't need it twice. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to delete that. Right. And now if I want to talk to just the summary, I could click just the summary. You see this select all sources at the top, right? You get to tell the tool which pieces of information you're talking to. So if you have groups of people, groups of information, cities, offices, locations, and you just want to talk to the West Coast or people on Pacific time or people in Atlantic time or people that have a certain quality, people who work for you in the mornings or the afternoons or the evenings, you can select just those files and start to have conversations with it. All right, and it's pretty cool. This is your sources panel on the left. In the middle is your chat panel, and on the right is your studio panel. Now, Michael, you were saying you just saw this mind map feature. What did you think of the mind map feature?
Oh, it was great. It'll categorize everything and break it out into categories, subcategories, and it'll just break it. It'll create like a decision tree. Well, a tree of information. So worth clicking it and checking it out, and then you can demonstrate visually.
Yeah. Well, I somehow clicked the wrong button, which is part of a live demonstration. So when I was in that middle panel, the chat panel, and I made a chat, in the top right was a button that said refresh chat, right? So the chat does not save. I'll say that again. Your chat does not save. You have to tell it you want it to save it. And when you refresh the chat, you get back to your main menu that you can add notes, make audio reviews, and create the mind map. So we'll look at the mind map here. And one of the best things we can do at the AI Catchup is to show you really easy examples so you don't get lost in the details of the example and think that that's what we're showing you. We're showing you very easily with the beach activities, which is very easy to understand. But a mind map is created. And now there's all these categories from the information. And as you might imagine, if I click that arrow, right, inside of safety is choosing a safe spot, playing safe, and preventing sunburns. So let's say I don't want to get a sunburn, right? And now inside, there's some tips on sunscreen, reapplication, protecting your babies, rash guards, shielding your feet, finding shade, and staying hydrated. So I'm going to say, let's stay hydrated. When I click that button, it takes me to the parts of my documents that are talking about staying hydrated. That's what's really cool about this tool. And now here are these numbers, 1 and 2 and 5. It tells me that inside of my documents, right? I click that, and here we go. If I click number 2 or number 1, it takes me to the place in that document that talks about the thing we're talking about. So David, you're nodding along. Do you have uses for this in what you do?
I'm a big user of Notebook LM, and yes, I just think all these applications are great at what you're doing. We can put in a topic and have it go find things for you. Yeah. Or you can specifically create something based on, I do have something ready to go to too, if you want, Brad. I can take over whenever you're ready. I can show some of the workflows if that's helpful. Okay, cool.
I love it. Yeah, you know, the AI Catchup, as people know, David, while you hit share screen there, the AI Catchup is for people to catch up from scratch. Like we use this tool professionally in a much more sharp manner, but at the start you need to just see the very basics. So you go, okay, we all started, like just like you watch me on this episode, I am just learning this software for this live stream. So I had to go slowly. I had to look around, and it did not happen quickly. Where Brooks, who's on the call but in the middle of action, normally he knows the software like the back of his hand. So David, as you look for the share button, I'm going to invite to stage or add to stage your screen. Oh, there we go.
There it
Go
is.
for it, David.
Okay. So I was just doing a couple things in the background, but I thought we'd start with Michael Knopfsinger, our co-host here, especially because he doesn't have his name on his tag and people may not know who he is. So let me show you what I did. So this, if you see over here, this first file is basically me going to his LinkedIn profile and clicking, going to, saving his profile as a PDF. Then
Can you
grab
post that, because not everyone knows this, and I've learned this from you, and it's so helpful. I'm so grateful to have learned that, because I must have used it 50 times since I've learned it.
Oh, wow. Okay, so now let me see if I can. Do we have a LinkedIn account with this? Account?
No, that's. We might be getting too tricky. Okay, we might be getting too tricky. We don't have a LinkedIn account on the Catchup.
You sure?
It's okay. David's already saved the profile. You can save it with save web page or PDF, and then you have to ingest it into Notebook LM.
Michael, we feel like you're talking through a tin can. I just got to tell you, I don't know what's going on with you.
Now we have the Peanut Gang teacher here. No, I'm just kidding. But just when you see, just go to more, and then when you're on somebody's LinkedIn profile, you'll see message button, and then you'll see more if they're a first connection. I'm pretty sure you could do it with whether you're first, second, or third. Just do save to PDF, and then I packed it in. Then I added it as a file. Michael's also runs the Witty procurement community, so I put in just a link to the session that happens on Thursday after we do the latest. A few hours later, we'll have the using AI for procurement session, and then I just wanted to kind of Google him to see like what else can we find on this Michael Knopfsinger. Now, fortunately, his name's, not John Smith, or we'd have to really weed through some info. And there are a few Michael Knopfsingers. But couple things. So, I have his LinkedIn. And usually it's enough. But let me just see if we have anything else. Any videos that Michael's in. Okay, it looks like there hasn't been much. But maybe what we'll do is we'll put Friday's, the thing that we're doing on Friday, maybe we'll put that up on YouTube so we can then add more info, right? But I could just post in anything. Now what I do sometimes too, just to show Brad, because it just wasn't appropriate for what you do, I'll go into Gemini. So Gemini.google.com, which is... Sorry, Brad.
We're using a brand new Chrome account, David, so all your shortcuts aren't there. I watched you do that. I do the same thing. You went to type your shortcut.
All right. Yeah, no worries. But now I can go into, I just happen to use Gemini for this just because Notebook LM and Gemini are both owned by Google, right? But instead I go into Gemini. Hi, Gemini. I'm creating a Notebook LM for Michael Knopfsinger, who is co-founder or is founder of Bid Data, co-host of the AI Catchup.
So you tell Gemini you're about to use Notebook LM, and you say, "Here's what I'm doing."
Right, because then what I'll say is, hold on, and an expert in using AI to respond to RFPs for SLED and other government projects.
So these details you know about Michael. You know what Michael does. You put some context in about him.
Right. And then I'd do, but then I'd go ahead and just add in that, upload that file where I downloaded his LinkedIn. And then I could even put in, link to this network event too, or this session on Monday or on Thursday.
So you're showing like an advanced workflow here. You've gone to LinkedIn and then downloaded his profile. You've gone to YouTube and got some information. And you've gone to a website and got some information. And you're telling Gemini, hey, look, I'm going to Notebook. What should I do?
Right. I'll be adding these to data sources. Right. So now I'm going to say that please give me a prompt that will help. Help Notebook create a 10-minute podcast about Michael and a quiz for what he teaches. I'm just making this random. Okay, right? So now I'm going to hit go. Let's see what it does. So now what you can do, which is surprising too, that they haven't put prompt down at the bottom yet, Brad. Don't you agree? I think a lot of people don't know they can put prompts there. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here,
yeah.
So what I do is I grab this, and then when you go into Notebook LM, here's where you put the prompt.
Okay.
You put prompt here, it just says start typing.
Yeah.
Right? So anyway, you could add prompts there.
So what you just did was you leveled up the prompt. There's Michael. Michael's back. So you've leveled up the prompt by saying to Gemini, let's really nail this prompt of how to get Notebook going.
Right. And by the way, Notebook is so great and easy. Normally I don't do this until I've taken the original files and then had it do these things. If the podcast isn't right, I'll say tweak it. But I just wanted to give everybody kind of a opportunity to see what's available. So I'm going to add this. Let me go back to my Gemini while that's processing. And then let me just grab, okay, so now I'm going to give instructions to it. So I'm just going to keep adding more things to the prompt. Which it kind of still a little echoey, Michael.
Okay.
You can't add a lot to where I'm typing down there, and it looks like they already kind of nailed what Gemini gave me, right? So Gemini gave me kind of a breakdown on the podcast, and then I basically did the exact same thing in Notebook. So once Notebook translated my prompt. So that's great to see, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit generate because that takes a few minutes while we're going.
So you're making an audio podcast for anyone that's new to the software. That generate button makes, I don't know, a 10-minute, 2-person audio conversation.
Right. And sometimes it goes 10, sometimes it goes 20. One of the great things about this and why I use Notebook, because I use different LLMs for my different workflows. I know everybody probably has their favorites, or they feel like they've trained one, so they want to use that over others. But what you can do here, where I use Notebook, I almost look at it as like a file cabinet, right? So when I'm helping a friend with his book. He's got like 30 interviews of when he was being interviewed. I took transcripts of those, put them all in separate files, right? So I'd keep doing add something, boom, add something, boom. You can put up to 300 of those there. So then I use this as like the baseline that I want to pull from, right? Because I'm helping that person with his book. I have all of the source data here. And then I could go, whether I'm kind of helping construct it via Claude or Grok or ChatGPT, and I could say, okay, Grok, ChatGPT. I've loaded everything in it in Notebook. Now let's start with, what should I do? Because here's the goal of the project, right? And again, we're not doing the whole book in AI, but we're kind of using it as a way to structure it for the author who has a huge story to tell, right? Some of 30, 40 years they're trying to review. Give me timelines of things. Anyway.
So now, is this audio review ready already? Because it used to take a few minutes. I think they've condensed the time now.
No, it's ready. It gave me 5 minutes. What do you think, Brad? Should we listen to it?
Well, it's Michael. Michael, it's about you. Should we listen to About Michael?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. And let me know, Brad, if you can hear it.
There might be a sound share button, David.
Right. Okay, so that thing is stop sharing.
The infinite void. There we go.
Okay.
This is good to show people that these tools aren't easy, but at the same time, they do save a ton of time. Learning to share on the StreamYard platform with audio, it's a learning curve for all of us. So when you get that queued up, I'll add to the stage, as it's called, your screen share again. Michael, how do you feel about your career being the highlight of today's AI Catchup episode?
I didn't know it was going to happen.
If you didn't know it was going to happen, for some reason, Michael, there's like a fishbowl or tin can effect on your audio. I wonder what that could be. Maybe you had some soup for lunch and you put the soup can on the microphone.
Well, it feels like something's disconnected. Like maybe the speaker maybe the mic might be disconnected.
Yeah, David, are you able to share sound for yours to present?
It's giving me. Hold on, it's telling me what to do. So let me just. Oh, okay. I know. All right, hold on. It was coming at the next stage of the thing. All right, so also share audio tab.
Yeah. Right, and then we're going to show everybody this audio file that Notebook LM created in seconds. David took Michael's online profile, he added as a source, he added some context, and then...
Now, hopefully, Brad, tell me if hopefully you're going to be able to hear this.
Okay, so
yeah, we got it.
Professional profile you shared. Our mission here really is just to map out the journey.
Yeah, explore the career path, the experiences.
Yeah.
See what this background tells us about, their current work.
Exactly. And looking at it, I mean, right away you see a pretty surprising mix of skills and transitions. It's not straightforward.
So the audio quality is not great, David, on the share, but while you're listening to it in your room, it's excellent.
Okay. So, all right, but here, we'll go down a little bit and just see some
complex cases.
You have to imagine the level of diligence needed there. Building a defense, tracking leads, vetting witnesses, analyzing documents, all under pressure.
Absolutely. Intense.
Right. So anyway, it'll give a clip. I had people on my think tank last night blown away, and again, Brad, this is like, right, I think probably the three of us, it's like, oh, this is old news, this stuff.
Yeah.
People have not heard of it. People that I felt should have heard of it,
so
used it, haven't.
What is new and is worth note is underneath the play button. So on that studio panel on the right, there's the play and tracking button. Exactly right there. What is that right there? You know it and I know. What is that?
So what it is interactive mode. And again, it kind of takes over the mic, so I can't jump in now. But let me just show, I'll just turn it so people can hear what it says. It's not going to hear me, but it essentially allows me to jump in on the conversation. So hold on.
And detail.
So that. Okay, so let's dive into this professional profile you've shared. Our mission here, really.
Oh, hey there. How can we help?
Right. So as you'll hear, it is saying that it's acknowledging that I wanted to join the conversation and I could jump in. So I think that's a pretty cool feature with this.
So while we're on this live stream, it's not a feature because the microphone's in two different places. But if we weren't on the live stream, you could interact with that podcast and say, hey, it's me. I want to know a few things. All of a sudden, what you're saying is you can now talk back and forth to your files with your voice instead of your keyboard.
You can attend as a guest onto the podcast, right? With
now,
the two AIs as hosts.
The funny thing is we have Michael here, so we could just ask Michael about him. We could get him to explain it. But, Michael, you're fairly new to Notebook LM. What is your view of something that might be possible or might be great about it? Because it's perfect to have someone who hasn't used the tool much.
Yeah, it's honestly that you could do ChatGPT or Grok deep research. Are you guys hearing me clearly?
We're getting there. Keep going. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so ChatGPT deep research and then drop it into Notebook LM. Also, if you're doing an email newsletter, if you have a history of your emails or your all the content from your newsletter, you can drop it in and create a podcast. Mm-hmm. So there's folks that are doing that, and they'll add a link in the newsletter that has two AIs talking about the content of the newsletter. So if you're an audiobook person, it's perfect.
So what you're saying is you could create your own audiobook basically from your newsletters.
Right.
I've not thought to do that. That sounds kind of cool. That sounds really cool to make your own audiobook of like just like straight the newsletter, not like a combination of things. Just be like, here's this big long newsletter. I want to hear it.
Yeah. Well, and then you could have the two AIs talking to each other about it. So that could be like a use case.
Right. Or even if it's just an article. Yeah, article, newsletter, whatever. They're kind of giving you like the, news desk or sports center type highlights from it. Oh, in this article, they talked about this. They talked about that. Right? It'll give you the audio, and then you can figure out and go and read it. Some other cool things, Brad, I just wanted to show everybody. After the contact's in here, you get these buttons over here. So first, I created a study guide. So here I put in the quiz, created an answer key. If we wanted to format the questions as essays, then it kind of gave us that. Glossary of terms, which is pretty amazing.
And these were all one click, right, David? Just one click.
Click, facts, right? Frequently asked questions. I can
and
now
there's timeline, briefing document, study guide.
Exactly. Boom. Right? There's the FAQs.
And then at the bottom, if you like it, you click convert to source, and that becomes a part of your library.
Right. Right. So briefing document we'll do. We'll get timeline going too while we're working on this. So here's I think this is the briefing doc. This is the briefing about Michael, right? Just think, everybody, about going into meetings. Let me just kind of go through who I'm meeting with. I had a meeting very early this morning. The person clearly hadn't even looked at what I do. And then he's trying to tell me what he does. And it was an unproductive meeting. Nice guy, but unproductive meeting. And then here is the timeline of Michael, right? A lot of these things are great. Oh, Michael, I saw in 2009, you graduated from San Jose State, or 2011. Blah, 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 right? Then, wow, you went right to Santa Clara County. How was that? So anyway, just these are some really good things, I think, prepping for meetings, interviews, just general workflow. And then another thing that was added fairly recently is mind maps. So love mind maps, especially when you've got like this just huge amount of data, right? So I can pop in, hit mind maps, have it generate a mind map. And now what it's going to show me is, and hopefully you guys can see the overlay.
Yeah, we can see the mind map.
Okay, so it took, here's Michael. Okay, let's look at education. Okay, now it's going to give me specifics on that. And then I can go back, and then, okay, and this is getting very small. I realize that. I can barely see it myself, so I'm sure the listeners. Right, current roles. Let's see here. And then it, prints it out. So I think, again, we only have 2 documents in here now, really just a LinkedIn and the session he's doing on Thursday at noon Pacific. But when you have, and again, 80, 90, 100 plus, up to 300 different pieces of information, now you could just use this to grab chunks and then throw it in whatever AI you're more comfortable with, whatever LLM you happen to be using, and pull from it. So we'll be talking about Notebook, I think, on future shows too. But I think that was a pretty good overview of what's possible. Anything either of you feel I missed?
No, David, that was great. I think if anybody's watching through LinkedIn, I see Harvey, who had to attend an activity, put in the chat a link to his notebook that has another audio overview. It's such a great tool. At the Catchup, we don't aim to take you deep. We aim to catch you up, to just show you the tool that it exists, that it's very accessible, that inside a half an hour you can get started, you can get on the platform. The account we show you is from scratch, so we've never used this tool before on that platform. And Michael, you're fairly new to it as well, so it's good to get that mix of experienced users and power users and new users. I'm super excited about Notebook LM. I keep thinking about all the possibilities of putting in recordings from meetings, like you were saying, Michael, newsletters, like you were saying, David, files from clients who are writing books. There is a reliance on Notebook LM for its strengths. I don't go to it as the only tool on the table. I use it in team with Gemini, in team with Grok, or in team with Perplexity, with Claude and ChatGPT. It's a back and forth for me, and it's great.
It sure is. And I think that some people may not be as familiar with Dr. Harvey. So I think if I just pop in here, if I change the URL, oh, that didn't work. He sent it as a PDF, I guess. I was trying to show what he had put in. We'll put it in the show notes, because it could be user error, or I'm just having challenges, so I don't have WhatsApp on this computer.
Yeah.
But
we'll get Harvey to post it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that'll be good. And just such great info, right, that he always provides. I think that's pretty much it, right? Notes you could add a note. If I then just want to pop some things in as I'm halfway through. I mean, that's another thing I love about Notebook LM is it's always there. You can't really screw things up. If I wanted to delete this file and back out of it, I could. Oh, right here, I see that it actually didn't accept my URL. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the page. But you can't see I'm doing this because I'm doing it on another tab, right? But I did just notice that, oh, look, it did not, I got the little warning thing here, right? Invalid URL for some reason, who knows? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, got it, add a source. Just paste in the text, right? So just copied it, paste it in, insert.
Yeah,
right?
It's such a great tool. I can only highly recommend using Notebook LM, the free tool from Google, to roll your sleeves up. Like David was saying, you essentially can't break it. You can't delete your stuff. Absolutely give it a try.
Right. And then, Brad, look at this. New, share publicly. And maybe that's what Harvey did with the document he sent us.
Yeah.
But it's almost like with Claude, how you can make a
artifact.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a great tool. Well, I think that's the catch up for today. For anybody else that wants to catch up on something deeper, go to our website, iCatchup.live. Go find us on social media, find us on LinkedIn. Reach out to any or all of us. And if you're a part of an organization and you say, gosh, I would love to have the AI Catchup team come in and help us catch up, quite frankly, we do go very slowly at the AI Catch-Up Live for people who are completely fresh to the tools. But for organizations, we're happy to catch you up on where your group is and where they need to be with Harvey, with Brooks, with Michael, with David, and myself. I'm enjoying doing the AI Catch-Up, and I think that's our session. Michael, David, great catch-up.
Right, and I think the courses, they're great. They've added some courses, and we just have the live sessions throughout the week. So we're here for you. Post, and what we would love to see, Brad, if I can just for a minute, we'd love to see what people want to see. What tool have you been using?
Yeah.
That you want to dig deeper in or haven't heard of or whatever you want to do. So let us know in the comments, and great to see the two of you.
Yeah.
Call it a wrap.
Thanks, everybody. Great to see you.
Step right up, it's time to hear the cleverest show of the year. AI Catch-Up, brighter tone, every week in your living room.
You may have to officially end the show.
Oh, do I have to do this twice? Oh, my goodness. We're going to play it twice. Oh, I'm such a rookie. I apologize. We're going to have to play it twice because of the way it's...
Step right up, it's time to hear the cleverest show of the year. AI Catch-Up, brighter tone, every week in your living room.